Here at the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, obviously our membership is comprised of businesses, and for the most part, 70% or more of our members are small businesses. And that's where we are today because we have a guest, a member obviously, here at the Chamber who is in the business to help all small businesses in the critical stage of keeping everything safe with your business. Paul Nieto is our guest today here with OX Security. Paul, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So when I'm talking security, you're not the guy that's going to beat up people when they walk in the door and stuff. We're all on the cyber end of things. Right?
Yes, I did that in my past life, and physical security is my background, but I was always a hybrid and transformed fully into cyber now.
So were you that guy always when the computer broke, you're the guy that could fix it? Have you got that mind where you could do that type of stuff?
I can, but I never was IT officially. I was always cyber, more red team or pen tester, penetration tester, which is under cybersecurity.
Okay.
So cybersecurity and IT are two completely different industries. I know a lot of people think they're the same, but it's like I always tell people you wouldn't have your facilities manager do your financials for your company. It's two different entities.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, everybody has a skill set. And very few of us have more than one. I struggle to have the one I have, but I'm glad to have it. But speaking of glad to have, we were talking before we started today. Yours is the type of business that any business owner doesn't want to have to use, but by golly, they're glad you're around, aren't they?
Yes, and it's especially like for me, I like to give as much value as I can. If I can do it for free, I will. It's better to get cyber done right. I'm not here to sell fear because I could actually do a lot of these exploits from people that are vulnerable because that is my bread and butter, being a red team operator, pen tester. But like I said, it's better to have it now than need it later because that's when you get into the legalities. Brand is all messed up, clients lost, and then it comes down to the lawsuits as well with the identity and privacy and all that stuff. Yeah.
I've heard you talk before, and you have a very attention-grabbing line when you say you are a hacker.
Yes.
But you use your powers for good.
That's correct. I don't like saying hacker. It's quote unquote ethical hacking. Offensive security is the overall genre within that portion of cybersecurity. So that's pretty much my bread and butter. Then obviously you got the blue team, which has its own silos. But yes, that's kind of where I get my attention because I had to dummy it down. Like I said, being too technical, it kind of throws people off.
Well, I can understand that. You don't have to be real technical at all to throw me off. But for the most part, the people that have the business, they need to focus on the business and not try to figure out how to do something that is taking you years to figure out.
Exactly.
They bring you or someone like you on board to help.
Yes.
But back to the hacker thing, I love that because obviously I got another phrase for you. If you want to catch a rat, you got to think like a rat.
Exactly. In order to catch the wolf, you got to become a wolf, and that's how I see things, especially in the offensive security side, cyber side. That's pretty much my mindset. So that was even my mindset back in physical security, breaking into buildings. I do physical pen tests and red team engagements on the physical side as well. People spend $3.5 million on campuses. I work at Apple, Facebook, and they never get them hardlined or hardened. They just put them in and think it's the end-all be-all, and it's not the case. All you need is a can of air, turn it upside down, and a high-powered earth magnet, you can pretty much get it anywhere.
Goodness gracious. So when you keep saying penetration, right?
Exactly.
Whether penetrating a building,
yes,
penetrating the system, penetrating the phone. Do you work the phones too?
You can, yes. Voice over IP. I know those are kind of getting phased out with the apps and everyone having their mobile phones, but yes, those still exist. Yep. Cisco has a lot of vulnerabilities with those.
I may be going down a deep hole here, and if I am, we'll pull it back and talk another time. But AI is kind of rearing its head in everything these days. What does it bring to the table with your industry, good and bad?
So the thing I tell people about AI, number one, it's not really AI. They got to go back and watch Terminator. It's large language learning models. Now, however, it is advancing. It is taking over the lower end jobs, which meaning manual labor. What I tell people this is they want to, save time and save the manual stuff and be able to enhance their duties. Don't just throw anything that is slapped with AI because it's not properly secured and it's not properly tested. And there's a lot of things called prompt injection, data leakage, which us as pen testers, red teamers, we could go in and even dump in, take some documents. You could use a Word document, do the macros, and it will spit out data or whatever we want it to. So make sure it's done through a reputable company. There's one big one out there called Cloudbot. It is great. However, you got to do it really securely and have someone that knows how to do it securely. Don't just throw anything in there.
No, don't try to do it yourself either. Bring in a pro. So is it safe to say, well, I'm going to ask you, I want to preview out of you. Is there something going on in a lot of small businesses these days that they don't have a clue what's going on?
Yes, number one is their domain, which I talked about today at the chamber. A lot of people don't know that's a big issue, not just in DFW, it's throughout the country with a lot of small, medium businesses. And that's one of the, so in the offensive security, we have this term called low-hanging fruit. That's considered low-hanging fruit, meaning it's the easiest lay of the land to pretty much gain access to an organization.
And so that's going on. And if you have an organization to where you have computers that are tied to each other, if they get into one, they get into all of them.
Pretty much, yes. It's all through your network, correct?
Yeesh, pesky networks.
Yep.
Do you get into network installation too, or are you pretty much you're there to repair?
No, I just do all cyber. I don't do any. Yeah, I don't.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you though, as a business person, and maybe through membership in the chamber, if somebody were to come to you and say, "Hey, do you know anybody that does this? Do you have people you recommend?" I don't need names, but are you?
Yes, I do. Yeah. And then I'll also partner with MSPs that do IT that need cyber or some. They're doing an MSP for an organization, small, medium business, large, or whatever. And I say, hey, our client needs a pen test. Can you do it? And we'll do one-off pen testing as well.
Well, and I like that too, because with any business, we talk about a lot of time, depending on who we're talking to. But a lot of times people work with you, they like you. If they ask a question, if you recommend somebody, they don't have to vet them because they know you're not going to jeopardize that relationship by suggesting someone that's not any good. So that's a good thing to know.
Yeah, and also for me, especially cyber, I try to get with people that actually have hands-on keyboard experience. There's a big distinguish, especially in the YouTube area, which I'm on YouTube myself. But a lot of people not just selling the fake courses, but are telling people that they have certain experiences and they never actually done the job. They have multiple choice exams, which is, like I said, a big thing in the actual cyber industry where you actually need someone that has hands-on keyboard certs, meaning you actually not only do the hacking, but you have to do the finalization, which is providing the report to the client. So if your report fails, even though you captured all the flags, which is hacking everything and the hands-on, you still fail the exam. So it's not taking a multiple choice. So there's a two big differences that I try to tell people is make sure they have actual hands-on keyboard experience.
That's good.
Yeah.
People need
actually
to know
that. Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. You've been doing this now. Well, how many years have you been doing this? I didn't even ask.
So for full-on cyber, I've technically been the offensive security side. I've technically been doing it since my junior year. Offhand, but total 15 years. I guess on enterprise level.
Well, is it safe to say that the stuff you deal with today wasn't even around 15 years ago when you started?
No, everything's more enhanced. It's more readily available, especially to anyone. I mean, you could go on YouTube and be a script kiddie, which is like a noob hacker, and pretty much run basic scripts on anything that's pretty much vulnerable if that's out in the open. So someone could drive by your office, sit with a laptop, run some scans, even on the Wi-Fi, and crack your password. So and watch it on YouTube.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, so what do you do to stay ahead of the bad guys? Are you always working on your own to do research and keep up with things?
Yeah. So not only do I still take the latest and greatest hands-on certifications, especially for offensive development, where I write my own payloads to bypass like CrowdStrike, Microsoft Defender. That way I could get a better understanding on how these work and how I could create my own custom detections for my clients. But also I help co-lead, there's four of us actually. The main one, my friend InfoSec Pat, we're on a hacking team from Hack the Box. It's ethical, of course. Mm-hmm. So we do it globally and we do that every season. This is going on 2 years straight now. But I've also been doing CTS, which is capture the flag challenges on how to keep your skills up in the offensive security.
I like that.
And then also the blue side, they have that as well for the blue team for threat hunting, incident response, forensics, etc.
And again, it's a bunch of hackers using their powers for good.
Exactly.
Steel sharpens steel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Kind of stay with each other.
And that's the way to keep your skills sharp, because you can only do so much training, and then, it's the CTF platforms after that.
But it's always changing. You say, you learned it once. Well, guess what? They're on to the next thing. You got to stay one step ahead of the bad guys.
And that's why I tell people that want to get into cybersecurity. If you want work-life balance, it's not going to happen because you have to stay on top. You got to be ahead of the trains of curves, or else you're going to go extinct. It's just you can never be an expert in cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people, if someone brands themselves as an expert, they're pretty much full of crap, because even in offensive security, like there's so many, like you got car hacking, IoT, OT, which is cities, gas, electrical. There's no way you can learn anything within offensive security. Then you got your blue team, threat hunting, incident response, forensics, compliance, all that. There's no way you could be an expert and know everything, and then be ahead of the times. There's no way.
But you always got to keep going.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to bring it back. You're on this end. I'm bringing it back over here to like this guy's end. Is there something that people can do for themselves on the low end that they don't even realize, but like if they had 60 seconds to try to do something to safeguard, is there anything they can do?
Yeah, for me, I always recommend Ryan Montgomery. He was on the Sean Ryan podcast. I would watch his videos because not only are they cyber specific to you can even utilize those on your business, but they're for everyday personnel because the more connected everyone wants to be with their phones and apps, the more vulnerable you are. And especially when you don't read the fine print and you know your data is getting leaked or sold, your kids are on Roblox, all that stuff coming out. So it gives an overall generalization of cybersecurity practices and also even physical security, like getting how to turn off your geolocation on your Instagram posts and you just bought Louis Vuitton, next day your house is robbed. So there's stuff like that I would recommend Ryan Montgomery to watch his video, stuff like that for now. And then if you want to take it a step later, you know, if you own a business, I would recommend some kind of security awareness training, whether it's cyber or physical or what they call physical convergence, meaning both, where you can not just utilize it for your business, but also your family as well.
Well, there's got to be instances to where somebody that knew just a little something could notice immediately something's not right and then give you a call.
That too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I put some stuff on YouTube and Instagram as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the best way to find you on YouTube? You got
yeah, it's a company name, 0x3 Security.
Okay.
Same with Instagram, LinkedIn. Probably my biggest one are YouTube and LinkedIn, and then Instagram, Facebook.
It's just fascinating stuff. You know, I've met you a couple of times at different chamber functions and whatnot. You joined here back last summer.
Yes, end of June.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, as we sit here in our studios at the chamber, how's it been so far membership wise? You enjoying being a member of the chamber?
I do. I love it. I love the different. It's just different from where I come from. It's kind of similar but different. I like the atmosphere. I love the people. I love how the venues are put together. The breakfast ones, the happy hours.
Yeah.
Even I just found out about the internal network meetings a couple weeks ago before I went to speak at the conference. So I like how it's all put together. I'm really glad I joined.
Good. Well, we're glad you joined too, because as we were talking, you got a business that all small businesses need. I mean, the big businesses might have their own 24/7 phone sitting around, but the other ones don't. So you actually let the small businesses be like the big businesses because you can do for them what they can't do for themselves.
Exactly. Correct.
Well, we like that. We love your membership here at the chamber. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
As we were mentioning too, we do a lot of seminars ourselves to bring people in, and I know people, Paul. I'm going to get you in to talk.
Yeah,
to our members to talk.
I'd love to help.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here today, but mostly thank you for keeping everybody safe out there, because it's a crazy world and it's good to have a hacker on the good guy's side.
Yeah. Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, Paul. Hey, folks, that was Paul, and you can tell by the smile on his face and the words in his voice, he gets it, and he understands the importance of how together we succeed, maybe him more than anyone, because if he works together with you and your small business, he's going to continue to help you succeed, and that's all we do here at the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much. We'll catch you next time.